So apparently ECW is getting their flowers tonight on A&E, and rightfully so. ECW saved the wrestling business. Everybody wants to sit here and give credit to the NWO. They want to give credit to Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, whomever, Goldberg. They want to Sting. They want to give all these people the credit. But ECW is what made wrestling cool. Look at all those elements that both of those companies took. It came from ECW. The NWO, that basically came from gang culture. And who did ECW have that was represented? You had the Samoan SWATs. You had the gangsters. You had the Eliminators. You had the Dudley Boys. You had all these teams beefing like it was some street shit. Then you had the crazy storylines, like with Tommy Dreamer and Raven and Beulah McGillicuddy getting pregnant with Tommy's baby. They mixed that with a lot of Val Venus's crazy storylines about him getting Ken Shamrock's sister pregnant, Mae Young pregnant. Then you had women getting their ass beat in ECW. Who followed up with that? WWE. Then you had porn stars getting involved. Then they followed up with Val Venus. They brought Jenna Jameson up there. Then they followed up with Val Venus. ECW changed culture. There's a reason why, even though Bischoff, Russo, and Vince, they want to look their nose down on it and don't want to give it credit. They thought it was just some indie mark. This is the difference. There's a reason why everywhere you go, they're chanting ECW. They're not chanting WCW. I haven't heard not one WCW chant in my life. Ever since the company went under in 2001, I never heard not one WCW chant. But I've heard millions of ECW chants in different feds. And see, ECW was different from any other fed. See, Paul Heyman, he knew the culture was changing. He followed up with what was hot with hip hop. He followed what was hot with grunge. He followed what was going on with Shock TV. And he put all those elements into a gritty presentation, which was ECW. The only advantages WCW had and WWF had was production value and the corporations backing them. But Paul Heyman, they took all his shit. They took all his talent. Then he introduced Lucha Libre to the table. I was watching that match with Rey Mysterio and Psychosis. They were doing stuff I never seen. Now we had light heavyweight matches with Brian Pillman and Jushin Liger, Tuco Scorpio, and all those. But this Lucha Libre shit, it was something I never seen. Then, of course, they took the whole ring collapse thing with Taz and Bam Bam Bigelow. Then they redid it with The Undertaker and Big Show, with The Undertaker getting choke slammed through the ring. They redid everything ECW did and just put their package on it. Same with WCW. WCW tried to do it later on, but it came across as biting. All those edgy elements that you seen within those programs, they were taken from a little bingo hall in Philadelphia. And see, Paul Heyman couldn't compete because he didn't have the corporations behind him. It was an indie mom and pop store competing with Walmart and Target. But they needed that mom and pop store marketing strategies to compete with one another. So it's just crazy how these guys get on these podcasts and they just want to discredit everything ECW did. But that company meant a lot. And you're not going to see nothing like that. AEW is nowhere near that shit. GECW, whatever that is, that's nowhere near it. None of these promotions today are not what ECW is. ECW was special. Take it for somebody that went to their show in 99. I had a ball. So, salute to ECW. Definitely check that joint out tonight. This is King Eric signing out. Holla.